Fellas, welcome back to the channel. Today I noticed something absolutely incredible that I wanted to share with you guys if you are a Shiba Inu holder or interested in the future price of SHIB. So if you guys are new, let's get right into this. Now, I want to show you guys a brief look at the current price and something I noticed today, which was a very sort of quick moment of fear that I wanted to get into. So as you guys can see, we're up about 2%, and this looks like a typical day. This looks like a very normal average green day for SHIB. But if you guys notice something here in the middle of my screen, you guys will see a little valley here, and this valley is not exclusive to SHIB. You guys can see this valley goes for Ethereum as well and for Bitcoin, almost the same exact graph. Now, why is this valley important? Well, what we've been pushing here recently is 50,000 at Bitcoin, right? That's one of the biggest challenges we've had in recent history, is getting back above 50,000. So the main question is, how can we get there? And when we approach it, will we instantly lose all that momentum? And that's what I was wondering in the past. So as you guys can see, we start inching our way up here. We get right to 49.5 roughly, and then it hits the fan, and you guys can see it crashes all the way down here to the low 48s. Now normally this wouldn't be anything major, but in situations like this, this gives you a lot of uncertainty, because has this bubble burst yet again? Are we going to watch it trail back down to the mid 30s? And if you look at historically, when these previous, sort of dips have happened, you guys could watch it again. Okay, we're in the high 50s, but, you watch it, sort of crash down to, the high 40s, 49-ish. This was in late April, and then same thing, it pushes back into the low 50s, and then, oh my goodness, we're back at 49, and then catapults all the way down here, eventually sliding to 29-ish. And this was just awful, and I'm sure you guys can remember that. Now, the same thing, of course, happened for the SHIB price. We saw this kind of valley here, of course, early in the week, and it was able to recover successfully. And then again today, we watch another little kind of valley being made, and this has happened today and yesterday. But the main concern here is wondering, with SHIB, Ethereum, Bitcoin, with all of them, will this result in some kind of slip slide? And this has happened before, especially when you're about to reach, kind of a pivotal moment like this. When we look back, even historically, you guys see there are many other instances here. Obviously when we're pushing 10, the new decimal place, obviously we've all been wishing for, and we've seen some slip slides happen in the past as well. So our goal is to avoid that as much as possible. But thankfully, it looks as if we were able to do that. Right now, you guys can see here on the day we have catapulted past 50,000. But more than that, what we've looked at is this valley being absolutely rejected. This call back to this line of support here at the mid 48s has been completely rejected, and we watched it rocket up as a result. And this is just fantastic. And honestly, this little 50K climb is pretty new. I mean, it's only been over the past couple hours here. And the question now is, will we be able to maintain this? Will SHIB be able to maintain its current price? And of course, when we look at the day, of course, we don't want Bitcoin to fall, because obviously that'll cause a lot of problems for Ethereum and will cause a lot of problems for SHIB as well. And the same type of thing here when we look at Ethereum, man. You guys can see we're pushing 33.5. That's big stuff. This opens a lot of doors for Shiba Inu in the future, because if you guys remember, when SHIB was really performing well, when SHIB was doing pretty amazing, Ethereum here, as you guys can see, was high up there. It wasn't like soaring past 3,500 like it is now, but relative to where it has been, Ethereum was a well performer. Same thing with Bitcoin. When we look back, you can see here on the full year chart here, Bitcoin, even though it had its peaks and valleys here, we'll look at like late-ish, May, it was performing well. It wasn't looking like, this horrendous kind of slip slide down. And that's kind of the goal here, is to avoid that in any way possible. Now, back then, when you went back in May and stuff, SHIB was a lot more reliant on Doge and the Doge hype than it really is now. With ShibaSwap and things like that, it's kind of carved out its own niche, it's carved out its own identity, and isn't nearly as reliant on Doge. And in fact, Shiba Inu moves, related to Bitcoin, I would say, a lot more often than it does with Doge. And same thing, moving with Ethereum a lot more often than it does with Doge. But regardless, the goal here is to not watch the entire crypto industry take a freaking nosedive here after hitting 50,000. So that's going to be what I'm crossing my fingers for here over the next few days. Obviously, I know a lot of you guys watching this probably have, a good deal invested in Ethereum and Cardano and, everything, and obviously, some of these here have been seeing all around a pretty nice green day for just about everything here. Doge, XRP, whatever you fancy. It appears we've been seeing just a straight green day here all around, which is absolutely wonderful. Again, I couldn't be more happy about this. And as long as this stays green, as long as Bitcoin doesn't crash and burn, falling down, below 50, as long as that doesn't happen and Bitcoin is able to avoid that, then SHIB will be able to maintain itself here above 8, because as you guys may have, of course, noticed, our goal is to stay above 8, and this has been the line of support that we've established here for a little while. I mean, when I draw it out here for you guys to see here, if we go back to, early-ish August, around 8 was kind of looking like the line of support, from a conservative standpoint here, that we were wanting to hang out at. Now, obviously, you could push that a little bit higher if you wanted to. If you wanted to, be a little more daring and say, okay, 8-1, you could make that as a line of support if you wanted to. If you wanted to be a little more conservative than I was originally, you could look further back and say, okay, maybe, early low 7s, maybe we could, hang out here in the low 7s if that's okay. If you want to write out, of course, if you want to write off this growth here as being, slightly pumped and not all, sort of organic, you could make that theory if you wanted to. But in the end, man, I think it's safe to say we want to stay above this 8 line as best as possible. And, as long as Bitcoin and Ethereum don't end up taking a nosedive, I think we should be able to do that and maintain, this area of support for a long time. When we take a look today at the relative strength index, you guys can see, of course, it is looking as if it's hanging out right here in the middle. So it does have a little bit of headroom here on the day. Maybe we could push like 8.6 or 8.7 while still remaining in the relative strength index here, and that would be absolutely awesome. Speaking of awesome stuff, if you guys want to get started investing on Webull, folks, link down below in the description, guys. Takes literally 2 minutes to make. It's easy. I know a lot of you guys use Binance, Coinbase. I know you guys use some of that stuff already, but literally, fellas, this takes 2 minutes. Use my link down below, and we can get up to 4 free stocks valued up to $2,300. So link down below in the description. I'm telling you guys, literally the easiest $20 you'll ever make. So link down below. But yeah, guys, let me know down below in the comments, of course, what your theories are on this. Where do you guys think SHIB is going to head here in the near future? Obviously, I know a lot of you guys are, sort of concerned, with obviously the FUD. But, from a technical standpoint, it's looking like it's a good time to buy here, according to TradingView. And obviously, looking at it here on CoinMarketCap, it is definitely a decent day. The question is, will this be maintained? Is this something that we could keep at for long term? Obviously, we want to push back here into the 9s if possible. But I know a lot of you guys, including myself, worry a little bit about whether or not this, sort of support line is going to be maintained, and is it going to eventually just start dipping back down into the 6s and the 5s, and that's what we want to avoid by any way possible. But really, as long as Bitcoin is able to stay on this trajectory, I'm hoping, for like 80K by the end of 2021. I think that's reasonable for Bitcoin. Obviously, is it fully possible? Maybe not, but I think a reasonable estimate is to get to 80K before the end of 2021. I know a lot of people are projecting 200,000 and stuff. That'd be wonderful and all, but I don't think that's going to happen. So Bitcoin here obviously staying at right around 50,000 here for now is totally fine. And our goal is in, of course, the near future to watch this hurdle past at least 60 here, I would say, within the next couple of months. And that would, I think, definitely give it a little bit of stability and, kind of watch a full official rebound from where it was into where it'll be in the future. So that's what I'm rooting on for Bitcoin. Of course, that is going to help Ethereum an awful lot. Right now, we're at 33.5, which is just wonderful. Of course, this is nowhere near the 4,000 we were back in early May, but, I really can't complain. Sitting here at 33.5 is definitely not bad. So that's what we're looking at right now with Ethereum. I think really like 6 or 7K would be nice before the end of 2021 as well for Ethereum. And again, whenever this happens, if we can do this, SHIB and tons of ERC20 tokens will follow. Of course, not all of them. There are a lot of times when ERC20 tokens don't necessarily follow what Ethereum is doing, but right now, I would say that SHIB is definitely kind of on track with what Ethereum is going to do. So if Ethereum is definitely able to maintain that, I think that would be wonderful for the near future. So thank you guys for watching. Remember, Webull link down below. I'll see you all on the next video. Peace.